And today is Saturday, and I'm going to share with you a little bit of a different video. I'm going to start sharing with you more recipes of my Grandma Fanny's, who lived in the Depression, who lived in a time where money was really short, and so they had to learn to think outside the box. I'm going to share with you a Depression-era recipe that's been handed down in my family for generations and generations. It is what I call crazy cake, or what you would hear as being called crazy cake. Now, you don't see me making a whole lot of desserts here on the homestead, simply because I don't make a lot of desserts. We're not big dessert eaters. Growing up in my Mennonite traditional family, we had what was the main course, and that was the staple of what fed us. We didn't rely on desserts. Nowadays, you will go to the restaurants and buffets, and you will have a buffet here of hot food, and then just as big of a buffet for your desserts. Here in the United States, we eat far too many desserts. But yet, like Fanny did, I made desserts on very special occasions, and I make them for like Thanksgiving and Christmas and Valentine's Day. So today, find yourself very blessed to see a recipe from a dessert from me, because you won't see very many of them. In fact, in over 800 videos, this is the first time I'm making Fanny's chocolate cake recipe. I hope you enjoy it. What I'm going to make today is something that you never see me make on video. I don't make a whole lot of desserts, and this actually is called crazy cake, or it was depression cake. Back in the Depression era, this cake was made often, and so today I'm going to share with you my very special and favorite chocolate cake, and I call it Grandma Fanny's chocolate cake. So let's get started. One thing I like about this recipe is you're just going to dump everything into here, and once it's all together, then we're going to beat it, and we are going to put it in our cake pan. And this is Grandma's recipe. So the first thing we're going to have is 2 cups of sugar, and to that we're going to add 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Those of you who love my wooden spoons, and a lot of you bought them, I'm going to share with you in the link in the description box where I got these. So we're going to have 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, and we're going to have 3/4 of a cup of cocoa. Now, I usually use about a cup of it. To that, we're going to add 1 cup of oil. Now, any oil is good. You don't want to use olive oil. And as you see, I'm just putting everything in here all at one time. Teaspoons of vinegar, and this is what makes it crazy cake. It's your typical Depression era crazy cake, because there's no eggs in this cake. Alright, we're going to go ahead and we're going to gently beat this. We're going to go ahead and just take our spatula and incorporate some of that's on the side. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add 3 cups of flour, and we're going to just use regular flour. So we're going to have 3 cups of flour. And now we're going to add 2 cups of water. We're going to slowly add that. To take our spatula and go across it. This is a rather thin batter, but it always bakes really nice. Ingredient, and that is some homemade vanilla. And we are going to add 2 teaspoons of the homemade vanilla. And now we're finished. In the course of opening up a cake mix, going to the store to buy it, you can actually have your own beautiful cake that costs you very little money, and it can bring back some good memories. And it looks perfect. Now we're going to go ahead and I will pour it into our cake pans and I'll show you what it looks like. Because I'm going to give one of these away as a gift, I bought these at the Dollar Tree, these pans, and they're so nice to have them for when you want to give them as gifts. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to pour our batter into each one equally. Set our oven to 350 and we're going to bake it for 35 minutes. In this recipe, you're going to want to make sure that you preheat your oven. So it will be a little bit and I will get back to you and show you the baked cake. Half an hour because I had it in 2 small pans. This cake always bakes really nice, and as you can see, it has a nice little crack in the center. This crack is really what tells me that it's actually finished. You just take a toothpick once down the center. If your toothpick comes out clean, then your cake is baked. So what we're going to do is now we're going to wait another 10 to 15 minutes. We want this cake to cool off. Use some of the icing that I like. Now, oftentimes I will make a homemade icing, but today I have a store-bought icing. I will share with you in the end of this video the recipe for Fanny's peanut butter icing. She usually puts peanut butter icing on top of her chocolate cake, but my grandchildren do not like peanut butter, and so I'm not making that today. But I'll just share with you a little bit of the icing that I like to use, and I hope that you really enjoy this video, and I'll get back to you in just a few minutes. It looks like it'd be really good if you had it with ice cream. So it's extremely fluffy. See how nice and fluffy and moist it is? Very, very, very moist. There's just nothing like homemade, from scratch cake. It's really good. This is something you don't want to make every day. This is not for people who are watching their waistline. But let me tell you, you make this cake and you'll create your own memories. And I can guarantee you that. Take care, everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Fanny's Diary. We're on February the 16th, 1943. This morning I did some laundry. Then it started to snow. Later on we went to Uncle Michael's to help cook some caramels for the weekend. What a great day it's been.